Hey everybody, it's Barry Kleiman coming back, and this is our fourth foundational piece before we get into all the action steps that comprise winning the fifth quarter. This whole process has been very interesting for me. It's been very informative to me as far as organizing my thoughts, organizing how to best share my thoughts with anybody who's really interested in going from where they are to where they want to be, including figuring out where they want to be and steps to get there. Again, the fifth quarter project and the winning the fifth quarter program is not a it's not a playbook, right? It's a blueprint. I can provide you a game plan, which is to say that give you some ideas to think about on your own. But ultimately, as we said in the very first introductory piece, the first foundational piece, Rise and Grind by Daymond John, this is really for you by you. All I'm trying to do is provide you some um, food for thought for your brain. And then of course allow you to fill in the blanks as you see fit for you. Uh, I nor anybody else has to live your life. I really want to encourage everybody. Look, to win the fifth quarter or win anything, winning means getting a desired result. So you have to get the result that you desire. So much of this programming will help you if you allow yourself to think and think critically and trust yourself and do the work, as Daymond John says. So I picked people like Damon and of course Dr. King and probably a person you've heard less, BJ Fogg, and today to help frame these thoughts. Um, I believe I learned in my own life that to see further, you want to stand on the shoulders of giants. A very important concept. So our giant today is none other than Shawn Carter, Jay Z, who tells us that I believe everybody in the world is born with genius level talent. Apply yourself to whatever you're genius at, and you can do anything in the world. Everybody, almost everybody listening to this would have heard some sort of thing. You can do anything you want, you can be anything you want, so forth and so on. Um, are there limitations to that? Sure, there are some realities that relates to age, and in my case, I'm never going to play in the NBA. But I do believe, and what I want to basically transmit to anybody listening to this and going through the fifth quarter project programming and the winning the fifth quarter program is that you can, once you understand your realities, again, there are certain realities we all face, that you can find your genius level. We all have individual genius. I'm 100% convinced of that. We get caught in a mill of, I'm just going to call it paying bills mill, which of course we all need to do. But this program, Winning the Fifth Quarter, is about taking yourself and your beliefs beyond your day to day, spending time with yourself, again, for you, by you, as we talked about in the first module. And I tried to take people like Jay Z and Dr. King and Daymond John and again, probably never heard of BJ Fogg, who says small wins matter, but they do. And just frame these foundational pieces for you, because everything else, there's one more in the next module that I want to talk about that's a foundational piece. These are the kind of the cornerstones from which I think if you use them all, if you rise and grind, if you understand that you don't need to see the whole staircase, just the first step, if you think about operating incrementally in small wins, if you believe in yourself that you can find your genius and apply yourself to that genius, you can do what you want to do, or certainly some reasonable facsimile thereof. And that's why I chose their words. If you choose, you know, screw me, but think to believe in Dr. King, think to believe in giants like Daymond John and Jay Z. That's why I chose them. These people are giants. This entire program cites the wisdom of giants. I took their wisdom and I amalgamated them in what I thought was a course, a process, a way of thinking that if you adapt it and you connect the dots, your chances of winning the fifth quarter will soar. Otherwise, you're just going to go back and do the same old thing and complain why nothing changed. So, again, Jay Z tells us everybody in the world is born with some genius level talent. There's a wonderful um, executive entrepreneurial coach, a gentleman named Dan Sullivan. If I used his quotes, I might not have grabbed as much attention as a quote from Jay-Z, but Dan says essentially the same thing. We all have unique abilities. I believe this. The program here is to encourage you using the words of others to believe it. So entrench it in your brain, believe in yourself. There's one more fundamental we're going to cover in the next segment, and then we're going to dive right into it. And we're going to start to get to work using these foundational pieces, the rise and grind, the don't worry about seeing the whole staircase. I'm repeating myself, but I am because I want to impact it upon you. Here's how you're going to take action incrementally, one step at a time, to find and operate on your unique ability, your genius level talent. So that's it for today. We have one more foundational piece in the next module, and then we're going to get after it. So I hope these are helpful. I'm doing everything I possibly can. Giving Tuesday, over delivering, as a mentor of mine, Brian Kurtz, says. I hope you find some value in these things, and we'll catch up with you on the next one. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe.